Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. This is Coach Velia with your coaching tip of the day. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend full of many productive things. For those of you that have been productive, I hope you get to rest a little bit. It's very interesting when I wake up and think about what the topic of the day is. Normally, I used to have them like a week ahead or a month ahead, but now I find myself doing them daily, which is pretty neat because I'm allowing my inspiration to come through, right? I don't panic as I know something is going to come through. This morning, I want to talk to you a little bit more about your vision and the things you're doing to step into your magnificence. So many of us are driven by things that we have to do. And I know there's a lot of guilt around it. I know for me, and I want to share a story because I know for a lot of people, it's neat when they can relate to somebody else's story so they don't feel like they're the only ones. At a very young age, I knew I had to do something. I didn't know what it was. I just kind of went with the flow. And then as I got older, I started understanding that I had to be a little more intentional. Everything and everywhere I was always turned out into some type of counseling session. So I had like 20 jobs, 30 jobs growing up, and it was always in different fields. I sold insurance, I did car financing, I was a contractor. Like I've done so many different things, but in everything there was a common theme. I always found the need to talk to people, and they always had a need to talk to me about their needs or whatever problems are happening. But I noticed that many people never set time aside to really dig deep into what it is that they desired. For example, I always wanted to help people, so I found a way to try to help people all the time. No matter what the field was, I was always interested in people becoming a better version of themselves. I was able to see their ability. I was able to see the things that they can exactly do with their lives. And for some reason, I had like a movie reel that would come to me, and I would see the steps that person needed to take to fulfill or step into their magnificence. So does that make sense to you guys? There's a lot of us that kind of look at a situation and see how it could be better. But many times we kind of step back, or we give too much of an opinion and we're not stepping back to really think about the full situation. Coincidentally enough, many of us wait. We just wait and wait and wait for the right time, for the right whatever. But there's a lot of guilt around it because you're not stepping into what it is that you want to do, and time is passing by. Right before I got on this live, paramedics showed up. I guess one of my neighbors, something's going on over there. And I kept thinking about how life is short. How many of us say we'll do it later. I can't because of my wife or my daughter or my kids are growing up. When the kids get older, we don't have to wait for anything. You can start doing things daily to step into your greatness, to step into whatever vision you have for your life. Sometimes we don't know what it is exactly, and we expect somebody to just kind of color it for us and us to just step into it. But there really are little things that you could take away from your own life that have kind of led you in the direction of what you're supposed to do. My coach calls this my soul thread, right? There's something that your soul longs for, and in everything you've done in your life, there's a common theme. So I want you guys to dig deep and to look to see what it is that you've done daily, not daily, but what it is that you've done in common your whole life. Does that make sense? Like I shared a little bit about mine was always like a counseling or therapy session or whatever, and I ran away from school forever, ended up going back and kept going. Now with that came a lot of guilt. My husband took my daughter to birthday parties. I wasn't really present for social gatherings. When I had to hurry back home to do homework. So there was a lot of guilt around that. I didn't want to be a horrible mother. I didn't want to be a horrible wife. So I did. I got a lot of judgment for it. So that does happen when there's people that don't understand your walk. What I knew that those people weren't going to be the ones to help me, gather my dreams or step into my greatness. So I started finding people that had a common theme, right? That were out there really pushing forward. And everything we did was for our family. Everything we did was to be a better member of society or to be able to contribute to people's lives. But it takes us to pull away a little bit and really invest in ourselves and maybe not go to all the birthday parties, maybe not always be there, when you're catering to people. But sometimes you have to really pull away and take a look at yourself and say, what exactly do I want to do with myself? What is in my heart to really fulfill? What is a desire that I really want to step into? And how can I create that version of myself? Because you have a vision, and if it was something for you not to step into, you wouldn't have it every day you wake up or on the weekends or thinking about it when everybody else is having a good time. I remember going to birthday parties and kind of sitting back and just observing people. I love to go and just observe people. And I kept thinking about what I can do to bridge the gap of communication. How do I help people understand each other? How do I help them heal? How do I help them feel better about themselves? And I was always thinking about it. So my vision was literally pulling me in. I didn't have to force myself to think about it. It was just natural. So I know there's many of you out there that are also doing that, and you might not know where to start or how to go about it without feeling the guilt. Time is moving on. Just to hear the paramedics over there. Time is moving forward, and many of us are kind of stuck in the how do I do, where do I go, and who's going to help me, and all that good stuff. And we spend so much time. So I want you to tap again back into your own experiences. Think about how long you've been wanting to do what you want to do and you have not stepped into it. Or maybe you start and you stop because you have no support. And that's very common in people that are going through it. And you'll see a lot of motivational videos like, who cares, just do it, whatever. But who deals or who helps you deal with the guilt around it, right? That's why you need somebody to help support you and help push you through, to let you know, hey, you know what, it gets a little tougher a little bit, but in the end, you can always see how you will be able to accomplish things and help more people in the long run. So it does take a little pause sometimes. It does take some time of reflection. It does take some time for you to really analyze what's important to you and how it is that you want to wake up in the morning knowing that you're actually in your vision and you're moving forward. So I want to go ahead and leave you guys with that. I encourage you guys to really take a look at your life once again. And it might be great. I'm not saying you're ungrateful and you want more, but there is just a desire in your heart you're not fulfilling. And for many of you right now are awakening to things that you want to step into, and you might not have direction. But there are those of us out there willing to help you guys, as long as you're ready to step into it and to really dig deep into what it is that you want to do from today to the rest of your life. Hope you guys have an amazing day today. It's kind of a topic that I'm very passionate about. I know that it looks a lot easier than it is, but trust me, when you have the steps to get you there, it really is effortless. Effortless because you're already driven to do so, and it's already embedded in your heart. So with that being said, I hope you guys really take some time to take a look at yourself in the mirror and really step into your greatness, because it is totally waiting for you to be there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have an amazing Monday already. We'll see you soon.